Hey there, everybody. Welcome back with the Purplatypus is the name, and today I want to talk to you about why I think you should be excited if you're not for Sea of the Stars, especially if you're a big Octopath Traveler 2 lover, which a lot of the people that watch my content are just big Octopath fans. So, I don't like doing editing and stuff, so we're just going to kind of talk. I took down some points of things I specifically want to bring up. But number one, the reason why I think you should be excited is who is developing this game, right? Gameplay aside, Sabotage Studio has earned a lot of respect with their first release. They released the Messenger. Let me see if I can pull this up. There we go. They released the Messenger as their first game, and now they're working. This is their second game, Sea of Stars. But the Messenger, in case you're not aware, it basically embodies what their studio is about. It's retro-styled games. Sorry, the camera is not perfectly zoomed in, but it's basically retro-styled games with modern takes. They want you to kind of... They're not, like, supposed to be exactly like they were in the past, but they are evolved for the future, but they still want to give you that feeling of being a classic game in this way. Like, I mean, you could just tell from this aesthetic, right? They also won... the Messenger won the Best Debut Indie Game of 2018 at the Game Awards. So this game is pretty critically acclaimed. I mean, 83 on Metacritic is no joke, especially for a game that if you're looking at it, like, I didn't play this, to be honest with you. It's not my style, but I feel like if you look at this game, you can get a pretty good idea that if it's for you or it's not. But like, it seems very niche, right? So for a game that's like this niche to get such positive reception is no small feat, especially getting something like the Game Awards to even recognize you as a breakout studio, right? Like, that's huge. So I think Sabotage Studios has earned a lot of respect and a chance to do something totally brand new with their new game, and I'm very excited specifically because I like Sabotage Studios. Now, another good reason is that this game is coming out on pretty much everything here. If we come here, which platforms will it be on? It's going to be on PC, but it's going to be on like all consoles too. That means this is on, I think this is on Xbox Game Pass. It's on the PlayStation Plus. It's on pretty much everything. One second. Sea of Stars, Xbox Game Pass. Yeah. So another reason I think you should be excited is that Sea of Stars is essentially coming to every console, right? It's coming to Xbox, PlayStation, PC, Nintendo Switch. But beyond all that stuff, this game is going to be practically free for most players in the world, most likely, right? It's coming to Game Pass, so you're going to be able to play it for free if you have Game Pass. It's coming to PlayStation Plus, so you're going to be able to play it for free if you have PlayStation Plus. Now, you're going to have to buy it on Steam, but, you know, so you have to buy it on Steam or on Switch, but a lot of players are going to have either Xbox Game Pass or they're going to have the PlayStation Plus. So not only is it going to be playable on basically any platform you want anywhere, it's also going to be free for a lot of players. So it's going to give a ton of players a good opportunity to jump in and really see what this game is about. And honestly, I think that's just exciting. It means that this game will have a bigger splash than it would because more people are going to play it. And so when more people are playing it, more people get to talk about it. Just have a good time. And the more people that are playing a game, typically the more fun it is from a meta standpoint. Maybe not in the game itself, but like, when a lot of people are playing something, you get to go online and talk about it with other people. You get to theorize, or like, you know, like, oh, I'm at midway through the game. How do you know, what twists do you think are coming? Like, all that stuff just becomes more fun, at least for me, when I know a lot of other people are playing it and there's a big pool of people to talk to about the game. But also, on top of it being basically free, you could even play the demo right now. You can go download the Sea of Stars demo. I think the demo's on all consoles too. That one I'm actually not sure about. I played it on Steam, but I even got it pulled up right here. So you could play a good probably hour to 2 hours of what the game is going to be like. Now, I'm not getting that too deep into the game mechanics here. Like, we're not going to do combat and stuff, but you can go in and try the game. It gives you a great idea of the aesthetic and the general flow and the writing and the way they're going to tell the stories. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of like twists and themes and stuff that they're not showing in here. This is more like a palette, you know, like giving you an idea of what you can expect from the full picture. I mean, it is pretty short, but one of the things I actually do want to highlight mechanically is the way the world exploration works. And I think they introduced you this pretty early on. It's pretty good, is that it's a very free form. Like, it's not like you're stuck on a grid, right? Like it's in a way, it's like an open world environment thing, right? I mean, they put this little thing here. You can climb up, you can climb down, but you can see it's very vertical, and you could jump down things, like things that in other RPGs you'd be like, oh, I have to go through this cave to get down there. Like, nope, you could just jump down here. Your characters are fine. So like if you see it, you can go to it a lot of times, right? So, and this includes like, and I played another demo that I don't think is their official demo. It was like a backer demo or something, but there's a lot of water involved. You could jump into water, go around, and so they have this very free-form exploration thing, which I think is actually a really cool way for an RPG, especially a top-down turn-based RPG, to do this kind of thing, where it's not like you're stuck on a grid. You actually get to interact with these environments in a way that I don't think you get to with a lot of the games that it's inspired by. But that leads me to the game's inspirations. If you need a reason to be excited for a game, other than the fact that it's a proven studio with a track record right now of taking older style games and making great versions of them in a modern context, just look at the games that is inspired this one. Of course, it's a lot. Oh, you can see my Baldur's Gate 3 character here. All right, don't worry about him. He's just here. According to their own FAQ, which games inspired? Too many to even count, though a few obvious ones, the most standout ones: Super Mario RPG, Illusion of Gaia, and Chrono Trigger. Talk about, listen, I'm not going to pretend like I'm the biggest Illusion of Gaia enjoyer. I'm not that familiar with it, but I do know that it's a game that a lot of people like. But like Super Mario RPG and Chrono Trigger's maybe literally my favorite game of all time. It might not be, but it's like in the top 3, right? It's like, I played Chrono Trigger for the first time when I was like 27 years old, like 3 or 4 years ago. And my God, 5 years ago? Don't even think about it. Time keeps moving. But it was every bit as good as I was led to believe my whole life. People are like, it's one of the greatest games of all time. And I'm like, all right, yeah. People said that about Ocarina of Time. I was like, Ocarina of Time was good, but I've played better in my opinion. Chrono Trigger, I was like, I'm sure, but I played Final Fantasy this, you know, Final Fantasy that, Star Ocean this, Star Ocean. I played so many RPGs, and Chrono Trigger was like still, but maybe the best RPG and one of the best video games of all time. So a game that's directly inspired by that is exciting to me. Also, Super Mario RPG. So what I think they mean about all these different inspirations is that, like, obviously, like, the character design in a sense and the open world aspect. Like, if we jump down here, we're going to get into a fight, right? You could see fights on the screen like this. So that's kind of a Chrono Trigger thing. The enemies aren't random encounters. They're on the environment, so you can see them. And I'm sure it goes beyond that for inspiration, but that's part of it. Also, badass music, of course. I mean, the music, I think, is literally the guy that produced the Chrono Trigger, like, soundtrack or whatever. I'm not familiar with music on that level, but I know it was a big deal. They got a Chrono Trigger guy to work on the music. But beyond that, like, the Super Mario RPG, I think this is probably mostly, it might be a little bit of the writing too, because it's a little fun, but inputs, right? Active inputs, skill-based, turn-based combat, where if you do things, let's go to Valerie here. Sorry, I haven't played this demo in a while, so I might mess it up here. We're going to get the skill. We're going to use this. So this is like a you tap effect to make things happen. So we go like, you press space to deflect, right? So when you see it come back towards you, you hit space, right? And then boom. And so you can either get 1 hit, 2 hits, 3 hits, 4. It doesn't stop until you mess up, right? And so these kind of skill-based combats where you could hit buttons at certain times to do better defense, better damage, like little mini games. I think that's a very, very fun mechanic, and a lot of it's underused in RPGs. There are RPGs that use it, like you know, the Super Mario RPGs, Paper Marios, and like Mario Luigi Superstar Saga. They're all in on it. And then there's like Bug Fables and stuff like that. And some games start to mess with it. I can understand some games being scared because it's a turn-based game. You don't want it to make it too dexterously difficult for players that are used to games that are turn-based, because maybe they play it specifically because they have a hard time with that kind of stuff. But I think that when done well, it adds so much fun to each combat encounter, especially bosses, when you're like, if I hit the space bar at the right time or whatever and I block this, I'm gonna live. If I don't, I die. Like, it can just add a ton of like kind of heart-pounding moments too. What is normally just like you can like mash through. So those are just a couple of the reasons I'm really excited for the game. I mean, I could talk about it for a lot more, get into more about the mechanics, the storytelling, the art, the music, all the stuff that I'm excited for. The fact that there's apparently going to be 6 playable characters, but I've only seen hints of 3, which are the 3 that you see on our screen. If we take a look here, how many playable characters will there be? There will be 6 unique playable combat characters. So the fact that they also say combat characters means that there might be not playable non-combat characters or something. I don't know. It feels weird to kind of specifically say combat characters. But so besides the 3 we have, there's going to be at least 3 more with, you know, special, unique stuff about them. But what I really like about that is that I think they're going to do the classic RPG thing where someone that's a bad guy that you do not expect to be an ally will, like, halfway through the game become an ally or something, you know? I can't tell you how cool it is whenever you play an RPG and there's this badass guy. Like, Legend of Dragoon is a perfect example. Spoilers, but you fight Kongol. Kongol, it was so hard when I was a kid. Then you fight him a second time, he's even stronger. And then later into the game, he comes and saves your life, and he becomes a party member for the rest of the game. And he's one of the, he's the worst party member, to be completely honest. But if you're not playing the game on a meta standpoint, he's like so fucking cool, man. I love that kind of shit in RPGs. So that's the reason I'm excited for this 6 unique playable combat characters. To see kind of what ideas, like, these are the ones that they want to show us about. So this is going to be some of their strongest, but some of their most surprising are likely still yet to be seen. Characters that are surprising because we thought they were evil. Maybe they're just weird. Maybe there's like a goblin slime man. I don't know. A lot of RPGs will do like a really weird, like Final Fantasy 6. You have a Yeti, right? Like, that's dumb, but it's awesome. Anyway, I could talk all day. I think you guys should be excited. I'm very excited. The game launches in 9 days. Full game, no microtransactions. They're just releasing a game that we can play and have fun with. Feature complete as Baldur's Gate 3 is, you know. And I can't wait. Guys, I hope you're excited as well. I'll see you in the next one. Purplatypus is Purplatypus. You have a good day.